Hey guys, today we are talking about SIMPs. Yes, SIMPs. A quick Google search yields the following definition. A man who positions himself in a subservient or submissive position under a woman in an effort to earn her favor without the woman contributing anything to the conversation. While this is accurate, I want to go farther. What makes a simp act and think the way they do? What events in a person's life could reduce them to the position of a simpleton? In this video, I intend to provide answers to these issues. What sets a normal person from a simpleton? You know, a typical person normally has a number of objectives and goals he has for his life, as opposed to what an average guy may. He aspires to other things in life besides, which is the sole objective of a simpleton. A guy may persuade himself that he has other objectives, but since his need for female company is so high, his other objectives are essentially pointless in the face of it. A simp will never dispute since he has other things to look forward to in his life. A simp will sacrifice everything for it, but the unfortunate part is that his obnoxiousness will frighten away the female who was initially drawn to him. They fail to realize that girls can detect a simp's desperation in his pupils through his demeaning body language, even if he doesn't express it directly. And clinginess scream, "Can I please have a coochie?" Do you think a woman would be drawn to a man who views her simple companionship as a gift from God? A simp is like a starving lion, weak and decrepit, who uses all of his strength to chase after potential female companions. However, the lion frequently fails because of how weak he has become from lack of food, just as the simp's lack of confidence does. The thought of coochie occupies a simp day and night, running through the back of his head, making him too weak to capture any prey. Simps also foster an environment where other simps may flourish. Consider all the girls with inflated egos as a result of horny simps. If you're a woman, you've probably seen some that resemble the human version of Jinx act like goddesses. Too much symmetry can often raise the expectations of these women that simps are after, which in turn makes it difficult for the simp to accomplish his ultimate aim. If you give a simp even the tiniest bit of attention, he will make you feel like the most beautiful woman on planet. The sad issue is that the longer it takes a simp to achieve his goal, the more stupider he becomes, since his desire causes him to lose all sense of reason and social awareness. To use an illustration, the simp wants her to be his girlfriend so badly that he skips all the steps to make that happen instead of feeling things out and looking for signs. Let's say by some miracle the simp gets a girl to go on a date with him. She might be on a date with him because she's broken and has no self-worth, but let's not get ahead of ourselves, this is all hypothetical. And building tension steadily. The simp might declare his undying love for her before they even exchange greetings. The simp will skip steps 1 through 9 and proceed directly to step 100. A simp's brain makes leaps in the hopes of getting closer to his end goal faster. The simp's perverted mind also prevents him from being able to recognize a woman for who she really is because his mind is too preoccupied with ideas of want to be able to recognize a woman's shortcomings. You might have a mental illness and be stupid. Maybe you pee in your pants every night, but as long as you give the simp the impression that you have some kind of redeeming qualities, you are his destined partner. Because the simp despises himself so much, he will do anything to have human companionship, even if that companion is someone who has no redeeming qualities. What may seem to us to be a typical, rather unimpressive girl is the most attractive. The simp doesn't care and will disregard anything for his quote-unquote love. A simp is willing to put any girl far above himself due to his microscopic self-worth. This applies to the opposite gender as well. Trust me, there are a lot of female simps out there. The only reason why this video is male-centric is because people typically refer to men when it comes to the simp meme. And since this is a simp-centric video, I cannot deviate from the meme. Also, if you've ever seen a codependent relationship where both of the partners are dependent on the other and value, then that's just two simps in a relationship together. It's not one of them is a simple, they're both simps. That's why they're like that. Let me get back on topic. Let me lay out some examples of simp activity: spending incredibly long amounts of time with a girl in the hopes of getting action, despite the obvious lack of mutual attraction, expressing your feelings to a woman you have only seen once, crying yourself to sleep. You have to stand in line while a devoted Muslim offers his 5 daily prayers, while you masturbate to the same girl's Instagram photographs every night. Watching Jordan Peterson lectures on a regular basis with the belief that it will clarify why you aren't. These are all things that simps do, including loudly tweeting about it and occasionally using the bathroom to masturbate. The tragedy of the simp is that he believes the reason he isn't receiving is because he isn't simping hard enough. I weep for the tortured souls who feel as though they aren't simping hard enough. And as the girl gets further away, they simp even harder, eventually growing into even bigger simps than they were before. This is an endless cycle of pain that only makes the simp's suffering worse. For instance, if a simp is rejected, he may believe that she didn't give him enough effort, so he will then start simping even harder in the hopes that this will. The cycle of rejection that results in even more simp may appear to go on forever, but simps are not permanent. This is why I refer to it as the tragedy of the simp. There is a concept I like to use called the awakened simp. When a fool recognizes his mistakes, he or she reaches this level of consciousness. This condition develops after the person has excessive amounts of self-inflicted suffering, the suffering of wanting coochie above everything else. But never succeeding at this point, a simpleton comes to the realization that he must first take care of himself. At this point, a simp begins to concentrate on boosting his self-worth and confidence in order to stop demeaning himself by going after uninterested women. This is also the time when the simpleton makes less of an effort, which, strangely, benefits him more. So what events in a man's life can make him a simpleton? Here are a few instances. A strong home environment is required for breeding chads because simps often simp because they feel unworthy due to a lack of female attention or growing up with disrespectful parents. A traumatic breakup might even make someone who is otherwise healthy into a simp. This experience can be the worst because the man will focus all his simp energy onto one girl. This makes it extremely hard for the simp to ever move on to other women. At least other simps are flexible. This type of simp clings so hard to one person that it makes him ignore all coochie opportunities. Now you might be asking Juice Man, how you know the simp so well? I'm not gonna lie guys, I used to be a simp. It all started when my 3rd grade girlfriend dumped me for a chad with a blue eyes. White dragon was my dark magician. Not enough for you. She left me feeling hopeless since I couldn't possibly win over a woman with brown eyes. I willingly let women step over me and chased uninterested women after that, unaware that I was better than that. This experience made me realize that everyone sims at some point in their lives, which is why the word sim should only be used as a verb, because simping is an action that is almost inevitable. I don't believe there has ever been anyone who has never felt feelings for someone. Since there is always some simp present in romantic interactions, it's important to know when your simp levels have reached an unhealthy level. When your simp levels have reached an unhealthy level, I can refer to you as a simp. Today, I urge all simps to put an end to their misery. Get over her, you're better than her. And you're not less valuable because you don't have blue eyes or white dragons. You're only in love with the notion of love. It won't help you overcome your lack of confidence. Stop deluding yourself into believing that she will make you happy and instead, learn to be content with who you are. You are about to embark on your voyage into the light today, and I promise that the coochie will come naturally. Oh my gosh, you look absolutely stunning as you swirl in the breeze.